Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And this is Angelina. As we approach the end of January 2026, the Lunar New Year is just around the corner. Technically, the year of the horse hasn't officially begun, but the energy of this opening act is already unlike anything we've felt before. There is an ancient Chinese prophecy known as the catastrophe of the red horse and the crimson goat. Historically, these years, specifically Bingwu and Dingwei, have been synonymous with war, regime changes, and the massive social upheaval. And 2026 happens to be the year of the red horse. Whether you call it superstition or historical pattern is up to you. But history teaches us one thing: when power is hyper centralized and a system is under extreme pressure, any single fracture can trigger a total collapse. Following the recent disappearance of Zhang Youxia and Liu Zhenli, um, the public is in shock. But the real story is that the military's reaction, or lack thereof, usually when a high ranking official or general falls, the system goes into overdrive, right? Every theater command and department rushes to issue statements like pledging absolute loyalty to the Central Committee and Xi Jinping while denouncing the traitor. But this time, there's only silence. Aside from a few generic editorials on Xi's anti corruption drive, there has been no systematic show of support. The major military regions are quiet, and in the CCP, silence isn't just golden, it's dangerous. While the military stays silent, and the mouthpiece Hu Xijin took to Weibo on January 25th, urging the Chinese people to stay calm. It's the same old playbook, such as renewable energy is winning, the US dollar is collapsing. Just endure the growing pains, and the CCP will be the world's new lighthouse. Hu Xijin always catches the signals tossed from the top. But the question is, if everything is fine, why are you telling everyone not to panic? From one side, the person who is actually losing his cool is Xi Jinping himself. The reason is simple. Zhang Youxia was Xi's anchor in the military, and that anchor is gone. Zhang Youxia reportedly chose to cooperate with the United States, handing over the CCP's most sensitive military intelligence. At that moment, Xi Jinping realized he had been betrayed by his most trusted ally. That's his take, okay? This is only Xi Jinping's take. Sources suggest that Xi decided to move against Zhang and Liu Zhenli only after Majuro was captured. Okay, so this is actually from the NFSC Intel, the foundation of the new federal state of China, the founder of the new federal state of China, Mao Zedong. Okay, and he revealed one fact yesterday. All right, so in 2006, Zhang Youxia presented a horizontal inscribed plaque to Mao Zedong and bearing the famous words. Here it is. Listen, okay? Life is indeed precious, but freedom is of higher value. What does it mean? What does it imply? Because this is from a top ranking military official in CCP. Okay, so just one piece of fact that keep that in mind. Um, and okay, let's get back to that. So let's clear up a distraction. So all of the internet was saying that okay, Zhang Youxia was fall. Zhang Youxia's fall was because corruption, right? Um, let's this here's a fact. Okay, this man controlled a military budget equivalent to nearly 15 to 20% of China's GDP. That's trillions of yuan per year. For a man at that level, personal wealth is irrelevant. And if this were about money or mistresses, then all the political would be in chains, right? The ruling families have trillions stashed offshore, yet they remain untouched. So Zhang's move wasn't about a bank account or a green card. It was a fundamental shift in loyalty. It's about his face. We'll talk more about that. Okay. Why? The sequence of information tells the real story. On January the 24th, the new federal state of China breaks the news that Zhang Youxia was detained due to an internal whistleblower regarding his US ties. It's actually one of his subordinates reported to Xi Jinping. And then a day later, on January 25th, only then does the Wall Street Journal, which is a pro CCP media, report on the intelligence leak, citing sources that officials briefed generals about Zhang leaking nuclear secrets and taking bribes. The fact that the whistleblowers beat the mainstream media to the punch speaks volume. Let's say it again. The fact that the whistleblowers beat the mainstream media to the punch speaks volume. Don't you agree? And the intelligence Zhang provided goes far beyond the nuclear schematics. As the highest ranking professional soldier in the PLA, he reportedly handed over one, the actual combat readiness and the flaws of CCP. Second, the global deployment of CCP overseas military intelligence. Number three, the exact locations of the CCP's clandestine oversight funds. This is the real nuclear option that Xi Jinping cannot survive. And also, Xi Jinping has zero knowledge of military. Okay, he has relied entirely on Zhang Youxia to hold the PLA together. Zhang is the veteran. He truly understands the mechanics of war because he is one of the two only left military officials that have um, real combat experiences. Okay, so inside the military, the professionals know that a direct conflict with the U.S. it's suicidal. They are not traitors. They are the realists who believe Xi's plan to take Taiwan by force is a collision course with reality. So they realize that. And Zhang Youxia and Chief of Staff Liu Zhenli weren't looking for a payout. They were just attempting a take down the CCP from within maneuver. They saw themselves as the heroes who would save 1.4 billion people from a catastrophic war. This isn't a simple betrayal, it's a life or death struggle over the future of the nation. And then let's look at what is left for Xi Jinping after his purge or arrest of Zhang Youxia and Liu Zhenli. Xi Jinping has officially lost the people, the military, and the party. All that's left are empty slogans of loyalty. And in the CCP, the louder you shout about your loyalty, the more likely you are to be the next one purged. That's just the reality of the CCP, of a dictatorship. Meanwhile, CCTV is airing the drama The Year of Peace, 平安年, a show about centralizing power to ensure stability. It was meant to be a propaganda victory. Instead, it's a dark irony. The system is fracturing from the inside before it could even launch its external campaign. And Hu Xijin talks about great power resilience at this moment. But you know what? The bill always goes to the average citizen. As 2026 begins, full-time jobs are replaced by flexible employment, quote, that's from the CCP's propaganda, and mortgages, healthcare, and education are crushing families. Banks are frozen, houses are unresellable, and wages are unpaid. And who still says American elites are crying? Yeah, Hu Xijin would say American elites are crying, but underground, it's actually the Chinese people who are in tears. Well, a true year of peace cannot be delivered by the CCP. When a man like Zhang Youxia, who was second only to one, decides to jump ship, the writing is on the wall. The fall of Zhang Youxia is just the beginning of the Red Horse year, and for the CCP, it's a dead silence on the outside, but a bloody purge on the inside. So we will analyze a lot more in the following days on how this fall of Zhang Youxia and the move of Xi Jinping would affect the BRICS countries, the Russia, the axis of evils, how they are going to respond to this event.